So this is on trail day 143. It is Friday, November 27th of 2020. We stayed last night here at the Pine Swamp? Yeah, I don't see, it's Pine Swamp Shelter, I think. I just put my Z light out over here and slept on it. No hammock last night. But it's just like 2 minutes after 8. I'm already up, got my socks on. Hopefully get on the trail by 9. I have the rice field shelter is 10 miles away, which at this time of the morning is totally doable. But there's no water there. There's no water, I think, between here and after rice field shelter. There's a road 15 miles away that Angels Rest hiker hostel does shuttle from, or do the 19 miles and then walk into Angels Rest. So there's 4,100 foot and between here and Angels Rest, the 19 miles of ascent, which is about what we've been doing the last few days in the 12 miles or so. So we have 1,500 foot leaving here, and then after that it's pretty long, just flowy. But those little flows on the elevation profile can sometimes be a kick in the butt. So we'll just see how it goes and see where we end for the day. I have no idea why the sticks say 2,000. It's definitely not 2,000 miles from Springer, and it's only 1,500 and something from Katahdin. So I called Angels Rest Hostel. They do have availability, so they pick up from the road for free in 17 miles. So that is going to try to be my goal. I've already done like close to 3. And it's not 11 yet, so yeah, it's going to be pushing it, because I only do like 2 miles an hour typically, average, and they start running shuttles at 7. So I don't know, I might not be able to make it. Well, I figured it would happen today. The strap that goes under my shoe to hold the gaiter on finally cut through. It's not the only one that holds it on, so hopefully it'll be alright. That's just the unfortunates of most of the backpacking gear these days. You gotta count the grams, so you gotta make it where it doesn't last. If they'd have put a strap on there that would have held up till the gaiter wore out, it would have probably weighed 3 grams more and nobody would have bought it. I think there's an outfitter in town, so if I don't find, if I have a piece of shoestring, I could probably make a new one with, but I don't know how long that would last either. The guy at the store said they were warranted, but somehow I have a feeling they'd be like, well, that wasn't a failure of the product, that was just wear and tear. Even though it's only been 100 miles or something. Daleville is when I bought those. I'll either fix them or get something different. So I've been following deer hair in the trail again. Some there, a bunch there. And that would have been a pain in the butt, dragging a deer over this stuff. Got some blood there. There was some pink tape on the trees, not too far back, that went off down that way. That's probably the trail the hunter used to come up in here. I know they dragged it a good ways though. This is the first view of the day. I just climbed up that hill. It doesn't look as steep from the top as it did from the bottom. Not a bad view. I checked just a little bit ago. It's right at 12 miles left. And it's almost 1 o'clock, so we're making pretty good time as long as we can stay on this track. There's a deer to the left here, if she don't decide to run away. And then there's another one laying down right over there. It's kind of cool. In the middle of hunting season, they usually don't want nothing to do with you. Yeah, she's not skittish at all. Neither one of them. Not a care in the world. Oh well, we can't look at deer all day. That one decided to get up. But we gotta move on. It's a pretty nice power line view. Looks like we're going to follow the power line for a little bit. Here's the view from the other end before the trail goes back into the woods. I don't know how many miles we got left. I haven't checked. Less than 9, maybe less than 8. I don't know. I had 9 something the last time I looked. And we've been 10 something. Should be getting close to the rice field shelter. When I get there, I'll check it again. It's a little easier to do a bigger mile day when Well, for one, you feel like it. And for two, you've eaten almost all your food. You know, most of these fence crossings, especially in Virginia, are kind of pointless. I'm sure when they put that up, it served a purpose, but looks like we have some field walking to do. A fire pit and maybe a rock bench, I don't know. We should be coming up on this rice field shelter. It was 2.5 miles away the last time I looked. And it's been a little bit, so. A little bit of a view over there. I don't think it's going to get any better. There'll be trees popping up in the way. So, here's the view. We just come across the field. Got a pretty good view. And there's the rice field shelter right over there. So it looks kind of old. I'll walk over there and check it out, I guess. Not too bad. It's not that old. Somebody lost a flip-flop. I'm going to take a short break here and we'll get back at it. So the trail coming down from the rice field shelter is pretty sweet. Could almost run it even with a pack on, which is good. I cut that 7 miles down pretty quick. My feet are breaking into the new shoes, or the new shoes are breaking into my feet, so that makes it easier. The diaper rash stuff seems to be doing the trick on the blisters. They're not bothering me. When I get to the hostel and take my sock off is when I'll know for sure. But no pain when I'm walking, so that's important. We got this long downhill section, and then there's a couple up and downs. I think there's like 400 foot of ascent left to the day. But I don't want to count it out as being, oh, it's going to be a breeze. I just cruise in, because I know how the AT is. It'll go from being this nice trail to stepping over boulders or something like that. So we'll just see how it goes. Well, the under foot strap of the other gator went. And they both went in the same day. But the one that it went on this morning has been staying in place all day without it. So, like says, when we get to the hostel, I'll cut the little piece of strap off that's flopping now and just go with them the way they are. See how that works out. It still sucks to have any part of your gear fail that quick. I mean, after 300 or 400 miles, I can somewhat understand, but I hadn't even been 100 miles, which on a different pair of shoes, it had a deep notch there at the heel. That may last forever, but not with these. But as long as they stay in place, that's all that counts. I'm climbing the last big hill of the day, probably 3/4 of the way up it. Up there is where the rice field shelter was at. The power line is in that gap right there, so. But that downhill was pretty nice. And then we had to cross over the Pocahontas Road, and it's been uphill ever since. But it's 4:30, and we got like 3.5 miles left. I had told Pringles with the hostel I hope to get there where they pick you up 6:30. Well, I should get there within that window, maybe a little bit earlier. Just depends on the terrain after this downhill, or uphill. At least I didn't just come straight up the mountain, that would have sucked. So I got like 2.5 miles, and the sun is starting to set behind us. It's 10 minutes to 5. I really couldn't have gotten better terrain for the most part for doing a 20-mile day. I was just going off the elevation, looking to guess that I could do it. But you never know, aside from the hills, what other stuff. And pretty much, other than going uphill to the rice field shelter, that wasn't bad. It was through the field, so the trail has been kind today. I might actually make it to the pickup spot before 6. If we can keep trucking like this. That was kind of a surprise. I don't know how well it shows up, but a dead buck just laying in the trail. He's been there a couple of days. Some hunter shot it and wasn't able to track it, if I had to guess. Sad to see that. All that meat going to waste. I'm about to cross the river. I don't remember which one. I'd have to look it back up. I have 1.7 miles to go, and that was probably about 0.7 miles ago, so we are almost there. I don't know if you can see anything on camera or not, but it's about to get too dark and I'm about to be done, so that's the end of today. I would like to take a 00 here at the hostel. I may slack pack tomorrow and take a 0 on Sunday and Monday. It just depends on what the weather says. And if that rain and snow changes for Monday, then I'll be hiking south on Monday and not at the hostel. But we'll get that figured out, and we'll be back on trail in a few days and continuing on with this journey.